My name is Ray, and my partner name is Jay, and we are land investors. In less than 3 years, the land business has changed our lives in ways we can only imagine. We want to show you how to do the same exact thing we did to change our family's future forever, just as you can for yours. Welcome to Land and Legacy. I am Ray.
And I am Jay.
And we are
the Acre Boys.
As usual, we are here with our partner in crime, Mr. Cardigan Harris.
Blessings, people. I'm back in action. I'm excited to keep moving forward. Let's proceed. Boots to the ground.
So let's jump into it. Today's topic, let's talk about where do we sell properties at once we acquire them? Where do we sell properties at once we acquire them? I'll let Jay lead out.
All right, well, let's start. One of the first things that comes to mind is where to sell properties at. And this is an option. You have neighbor letters is a way that you can actually go ahead and sell some property. We found out during the last the years of our career that usually most times the buyers of that particular land live within a 3 mile square radius of the property. So definitely getting some mail out there to the neighbors to see who is interested, and that's a really good idea, and it's a strong idea because who's going to be more interested than the people that are already located that are near the actual property? And I'm talking about these people are riding down that same road every day. They're familiar with the people, they're familiar with the streets, they're familiar with everything. So that's what I would say. Neighbor letters are very powerful. We sold a lot of land based off of neighbor letters without even taking it directly to market. So neighbor letters are definitely key when it comes to do this. Actually, also we'll go through another one, Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, right on your Facebook, you can enter into the marketplace and you can list the property for sale as well. But one thing that we know through experience about Facebook Marketplace is it works according to the denomination. So let's just say I believe it works better at $25,000 and down. The minute you start going over properties that are $25,000, that's going to have a different kind of buyer attached to a different kind of price point. So for $25,000 and down, Facebook Marketplace will work really well, just depending on where you're at.
You got free sites to sell things, and you have paid sites. I guess we'll focus on the free sites. Facebook Marketplace was one that he just stated. Other places that's free is Zillow. Zillow is a phenomenal place, and that denomination on Zillow can range from zero on up to whatever the price of your property is. Zillow is great. It is free. I would absolutely take advantage of Zillow if you are looking to put something on the market. Believe it or not, Craigslist, eBay, those are two other places to sell things. Now, when you're dealing with Craigslist and eBay, that's going to be a lower denomination. Don't expect to sell anything over $5,000 on those platforms. That's when it starts to look a little sketchy, a little scammy when you have properties over $5,000 on those places. Can happen, but general conception is if you're looking for properties over $5,000, they're not going to be on eBay or Craigslist. And that's the free sites that comes to mind off the bat.
I think what I like personally, I do obviously starting a business. You want to go with before you start making tons of money. You want to go with the free sites. You want to utilize all the platforms that's there for you, that's cost effective, and like you mentioned before, Facebook Market, eBay or Craigslist for that matter. Me personally, since the business is nomadic and there's a lot of times we may not know pertinent information about the area, I like the idea of having a realtor. I don't mind paying a realtor to give me some insights and more information about the area, things that I'm unaware of or are not privy to. They kind of take the weight off of the correspondence between myself, the seller, and the buyers. And I don't mind paying a nominal fee to get that done. So I like the aspect of having third-party verification, I call it. They give information, insight, and a lot of times they have the relationships with people in that area that's close proximity, like Jay just mentioned before, in reference to potential buyers. So me personally, I take the weight off my shoulders. I listen directly with a realtor.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's good. Realtors are good, definitely. And specifically in this business, like he was just saying, the land brokers are really, really key because they can have a buyer's list already. They can have someone that's already potentially to have in mind that would purchase that actual property too. But let's go over a couple of paid sites. You have Lands of America, which is a paid site. You have Lands of America. You have Land and Farm, which is another page, site, which is going to allow you to have a lot of visibility. Now, when you're on those sites, there are a couple of things that you can do. Actually, one thing that sticks out that you can do in order to get more visibility, you can pay to actually have your listing boosted so it gets more eyes on it. You know, the more eyes that see anything that's just like sales and anything, the more eyes see that actual property, the more likely you can go ahead and attract the right buyer for that particular asset. So I think that is a key thing. There are tons of paid sites, like we just went over a couple of them, but yeah, the paid sites are really, really good too. But if you're first starting out, I wouldn't recommend that you go directly to the paid sites like we talked about before. I will go directly to the free sites and maximize out those, and just to see what kind of response that you get from them. We went over neighbor letters, and based off of that, if you get a little bit more money and you're moving a little bit more savvy, there are accounts that you can get with Lands and Farm, Lands of America, where they'll actually let you list 3 to 10 properties simultaneously, depending on which package that you choose. So initially, starting out, like we said before, I would go the free route, depending on what your pockets look like. But as you start to build up, land brokers are a great resource, and all these things are great resources. And if used all in conjunction, they all can work together to create a machine. You know, so yeah.
I think it all depends on too who you are in the land space and what your end goal is in this as being a land investor, right? You know, because some people may be watching this and they just have a property that they inherited, and it's one property that they want to get rid of. So if it's just one property, I would certainly utilize the free sites. If I just got one property, for us, we're trying to flip as many properties as we can. So it makes sense for us in order for us to scale and get out the way, to hire a realtor and let them handle the bulk of the work. They're getting paid anyway, so we don't mind cutting a realtor in, because we're looking to do multiple transactions at a time. One thing you want to keep in mind about those paid sites is you're going to find much savvier buyers there. So it depends on what kind of property you're selling, right? If you got tax deeds properties, you probably don't want to go on those paid sites. You definitely want to go the free route. If you got tax deed properties, which is probably going to be a quick claim. If you got a warranty deed, then feel free to go to the paid sites or get a realtor. Those are a lot more valuable, and just know what your end game is, and make a decision based on what your end game is and what kind of selling you're looking to do. If it's a one-off, go the free route and test the waters and see how it is. If you're looking to do a bunch of them, then you may want to get in bed with a realtor too.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well, if it makes sense.
So with that said,
it should make sense. It makes sense. It should make sense. I agree with that.
So with that said, we want to say like what we always do: like, comment, share, subscribe, all that. And until next time, peace.
We're out.